Alright guys, here we are for Season 2, Episode 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Inca Mummy Girl.
Kind of gives away the name, the name and the title there. Like the
Most of them do.
Yeah.
But this episode is special.
Oh shit.
Well, we have no Angel.
Why? Because it breaks my heart?
Well, a little.
No Angel, no Spike, no advancement of the overall plot except to break my heart. Okay,
and to introduce Oz.
I know.
A new character coming on board. To a lesser extent, Jonathan. He's the nerd. No, he's the nerd that is in the cowboy outfit that she pulls into the background.
Yeah.
Like, does it look like I am with Xander?
Yeah. Aren't you with Xander? Does it look like I'm with Xander?
Your hands seem a little rough, and I'm like, whoa, dude, you're being so picky. What the fuck? Like,
yeah, nerdiest guy in the world here.
Stop trying to like undo the deal you've gotten for yourself. Yeah.
Your hands feel kinda rough.
But yes, this is a very sad episode. So,
sure.
So, posing as a foreign exchange student, we have a mummy come to life after she kills. I always get confused. Is it Riggs or Murtaugh? I think it's Riggs from the TV show of Lethal Weapon.
What?
The hell are you doing? Martin Riggs. We're gonna make a great team.
Yeah, he's Rodney.
Yeah, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, which I love this character because you don't see him really ever, but he's there he's like, what is he, scratching paint off of an idol into a plastic baggie? What I can only assume is for some sort of drug-related fun thing later.
I was just gonna say, he's literally like scraping the old paint off of some weird idol mask or whatever, just so that he can take the ceremonial dust and huff it later, which I imagine is choice, gets you mad.
This character is so ridiculous. I love that, like, and then he's like, oh, I'll steal this plate. I love that the Museum of Sunnydale has no protection whatsoever.
Yeah,
there's like a curator who's there for like 1 second. There's no glass over this. It's an open to the elements mummy.
With all due respect, they have like a magic pirate man that shows up if anything goes left. He can fucking like attack
a little bit.
People.
I really have a lot of questions about him. Yeah, so he's the bodyguard of the mummy. He's making sure nobody breaks the seal and keeps the mummy. Yes, it's a misnomer in which way he's guarding the body. He's not protecting her. He's protecting the world from her.
Right. So typically a bodyguard literally is to protect her.
He's guarding that body.
Right. He's guarding that booty.
But like, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me because she was a 16-year-old sacrifice.
Yep.
You know, I forget if they said why. Let's say for good grain.
She was chosen.
She was chosen to be sacrificed. But what about being a sacrifice to a god makes you turn into a like, you know, vengeful mummy thing? So why do you even need a seal? Why do you have the ability to come back to life?
All mummies do that, which is terrifying because it implies too that she was conscious the whole time.
She was. She was listening to everything.
I listened a lot, right?
So Buffy, when's Exchange Old Boy making his appearance?
His name's Impata. We're at the bus station tomorrow night.
Ooh, the Sunnydale Bus Depot. Classy.
So yes, that's terrifying now. Now I know why mummies are so pissed off.
But let's just think about that for like another second here. If the seal was absolutely vital to keeping her from ever coming back, they didn't use that to put her down. He got almost all the way to fixing it. She shatters it. Yeah. And then she just went long enough without sucking down that beautiful juice of a human, you know, their soul or whatever the hell she's taken in, their youth.
The kiss of essence of death.
So, and then she just kind of falls to dust. Yeah. So like she should be in quotes back to where she was before she got a beautiful infusion of young soul. So like you'd think that they would then have to complete the thing, but in our long history of let's just walk away, it's done.
I was just gonna say it's like you're right, but that's why I'm like I didn't like this episode. This was really dumb to me. I'm like I hate this.
Well, it's a great just. There's a lot of quippy, fun lines.
Yeah,
There's some development of characters here.
The part that is not slaying is good. But that's what I'm saying. Is
there's very little actual slaying.
I know. It's just a bunch of crap. So I don't like this at all. That's what I mean. Yes, like all that stuff. It's like Giles with crazy glue, and that's her climactic thing, and then that just gets out the window. I like how she shatters and dies and how Xander's sad and how Willow comforts her. I like Xander like stepping up, like get away from her, and doing the whole thing like, oh, that's cool.
Let her go. you're gonna kiss anybody, it should be me.
But then, yes, like, it's the funniest thing where they just go, and they just like walk, they all walk out. I'm like, oh, this is happening again.
That's just some master bones. See you later.
Sorry, peace out. They don't even put her back into her thing.
No. Well, presumably, Rodney's still in there. So this left me, there's two other questions here where I go, okay, so
they don't come back.
They
They're
don't notice
forever.
They don't notice that there's like, you know, a boy with braces in there, like, you know, people working there anyway. So do you think they go like, hey, he's dead. He's this mummy thing that we can't explain at all? Because they do find the bodyguard dead in that way, and we assume somebody else found him, so the world knows that at least happened. But how do you explain the dead body in your trunk? Like, there's a trunk in her bedroom, a dead body that we never see addressed.
How about this one? What kind of girl travels with a mummified corpse and doesn't even pack a lipstick?
Now, in order the exchange student that was
that's supposed to go to her house,
who is now missing permanently.
So do you think they just disappear that body and as if they never came? Because we did never see him. We saw somebody else.
Yes,
there was no record of that kid ever being anywhere.
As usual, there's a bunch of deleted scenes where they're like, "We take this to our graves." No, Xander, you have to lie to the cops. Tell them that you came with me to to the bus station and we never saw anybody.
I'll never mention it again.
We make a pact. Right here and now, we take this to our grave. Agreed.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, the next day at school, you all introduced this exchange student.
No. And presumably there's paperwork when Impata shows up. She has to like sign things. Oh, I'm this person. I thought she was incredibly articulate and witty for a fucking mummy. Yes. And yes, she's had a lot of time just to listen to people, and she probably picked up on some good quip here and there. Yeah. But I love her exchanges with Xander are like really good.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh no, you're like a witty, awesome person.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Who would have thought you're an old ass mummy?
So Impata, you're a girl.
Yes, for many years now.
You automatically fall in love with her immediately or whatever, but yeah, she might as well just be like, oh, I need a new ringtone. Like she's saying something like, what are you talking about?
She went right over to a water fountain like it was nothing, and I was like, interesting.
I did like a double take there. I'm like, did I miss a scene where he's like, no, you can just drink water from the fountain. You don't have those in your country? She's like,
Who's to say if she's even a mummy? She's clearly a liar. We see her in one scene applying lipstick, and the very next scene goes, Buffy, I don't have any lipstick. Can I borrow some of yours?
Buffy, I do not have any lipstick.
Oh, we can borrow one of mine. There should be some on the desk.
Well,
it was back to back.
She's like better lipstick, I think, or something. She's like, that
it was the wording she chose. But regardless, this is the fun one. I love like Oz is like taking interest into Willow.
Hey, who is that girl?
Because Willow's now just been sitting there, just getting shit on by life, feeling for Xander and not getting the requited love there.
Let's pause there, because this to me, I think I missed a line or two of dialogue maybe here or there.
Okay.
But this to me feels like, again, heartbreaking, but this horrible thing of like, okay, we've decided to change direction. Now Willow and Xander will not end up together under any circumstances. Let's break Willow's heart and introduce some crazy new character out of nowhere. Let's have the whole cast act like he just goes to that school and he's always been there. And let's have him somehow not know who Willow is so that he can be like, who's that girl? While they're on stage, which makes no fucking sense to have a whole conversation, right? Whatever.
That girl, who is she? She's an exchange student. I think she's from South America.
No, not her. The Eskimo.
This whole
that
thing,
singing was so bad.
Yes.
Like it's so not them singing, and the mouthing is like inappropriate. Like at one time, Oz is like singing backup, and he's just like.
like a South Park character.
What the hell's happening here?
Like a circle. Yes, but it felt so shoehorned and crazy and weird.
I could see it.
Where like some writers with the Pepe Sylvia like yarn were like, wait, it doesn't make sense to have an item in the Scoobs. We have to break that. Well, we have all this storyline written. Let's just add a new character and have her, be with him instead, and let's just have Xander just never catch a break and constantly just never quite seal the deal, and that'll be funny. Let's do that.
I have mixed feelings. Where I agree with what you're saying, I do think it's stronger to have them introduce a new character on episode 4 than on the first episode. I always hated that when it's like, okay, brand new season. Yes. Oh, look, on day 1, someone goes, I think I can assist you. I know how to read Sanskrit.
Hey, Jeff.
Like, what the fuck the thing is?
Well, why don't we ask Jeff? Who's Jeff? You don't know Jeff?
Yeah,
it's weird. And like, what the fuck? It actually felt like that Torchwood episode where like some, memory wiping demon has like worked his way into their group. That's a spoiler for Torchwood. I don't know. But yes, I was like, what is happening? Because in my head I'm like, oh, did I miss a line of dialogue where it's like, hey, you're back from your thing, or like you're not, like you haven't been here, or like you just got transferred.
Well, we don't know
like,
everybody in the school. It's potentially a large regional high school.
Still.
The only reason we have even this window into Oz in the first place is because Cordelia is now dating the front man of the band.
Yeah.
Was it Dingo Ate My Baby? Dingo's Ate My Baby. Which Oz plays lead guitar.
Do you know how many girls you could have? You lead guitar, Oz. It's currency.
Perfect. The name of the band?
Yeah. And that's how we first get our little like view of him.
And I'm okay with like, oh, here's a character that you just happen to not meet, and that's going to happen more and more, I assume.
Sure.
That's fine.
Every episode.
It just, well, but like students and stuff, right? Which doesn't necessarily happen. But like, yes, this just felt so awkward where I'm like, oh no. But like, I'm glad that they got it over with and they broke everything, but they also broke my heart. That's my other point, is I was like seeing this whole thing happening, and they did it in like a funny kind of way or whatever. But like in my head, the whole time I've been thinking, I don't think they end up together, so what is all this? How is this going to resolve itself? And I thought not only Spike but also Oz didn't show up until like season 3 or 4 or like later in the show. So this has been a roller coaster. It's been a barrage. And I'm still reeling from all the revelations that happened.
I love the Oz character. I love his like dry delivery on things, and how he's like so like once removed and is like doesn't seem to be phased or care about things around him.
Typical.
They had a pretty good exchange where it's like, well, I'm just not impressed by a girl that can look pretty and talk or whatever, and he's like she doesn't need to talk.
I'm not picky. You're just impressed by any pretty girl that can walk and talk.
She doesn't have to talk.
Those little like bullshit things.
She doesn't have to talk.
And like, he's a smart character, and Willow's a smart character. That is like, a natural thing that they should be pining after one another. I think Willow's choice of costume in this is so genius. I love his like, no, that Eskimo girl.
Oh, near faux pas. I almost wore the same thing.
She's in a costume where like not only can she like barely like when she turns, she like turns her whole body.
All things like
at one point.
Batman.
Where's Buffy?
She like shrugs, and Sandra's like, what was that? She's like, I shrugged. He goes, well say shrug, because fuck.
Have you seen Imprada? What was that?
I shrugged.
Next time you should probably say shrug.
Sigh.
Yeah.
And then she says sigh as he walks away.
That was like a Charlie Brown thing. That was hilarious. I feel like Xander is like I liked when he saved the day because I thought he was being kind of a dick and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he's smitten with the new girl, and that Twinkie scene is true love.
Oh, that's great.
So I was like, wow.
That
okay.
took 10 takes.
You guys go. Well, he just wants to eat all his Twinkies.
We've had this thought about Xander in the past with his candy bars. He just likes to eat. He probably purposely blew a bunch of those takes.
Here goes.
Good, huh?
Yeah.
But I think that was like a charming scene.
Yeah,
I like that. Like, and usually when you see a person with a mouthful of Twinkie, how good could the scene be?
I was gonna
but I
say.
even thought hers, like their dialogue back and forth was funny while mouthful.
Exactly.
It seemed genuine.
I was
it
literally
going to
use those exact words, as like the mouthful, laughing along together and all that. I was like, oh, okay.
I like it. I like you like it. Please don't learn from my English.
Maybe it's gonna be okay after all. No, I'm still heartbroken because the way, like Willow walks in, when Xander's like, I don't think of her that way, bitch. What are you talking about? Screw her.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh no, this.
Yeah, it crushes her pretty hard.
What happened to the nose and the almost kiss? I think he does think about her that way.
It's weird to say.
Feels like writers mixing up the soup.
Got stuck in a
I
moment.
like it.
I think it was that he was so far away from any other ladies. He only had Willow all summer, and like eventually she wore him down. It took literally the whole summer, and on the last day she almost got it.
He said her nose looked delicious, and it does.
Well, yeah.
But yes.
And there's no way you can take that where it is just a friendly thing.
I know.
Like no one's like, let me lick shit off your nose. Like nobody. Maybe some weird nose people, but.
Yeah. But yes, that is actually her strategy, by the way. Not the nose thing, but the wear him down.
Yeah.
She like that was one of my favorite jokes from her. Was like, well, I have two options, blah blah blah. But like one of the options is I can keep waiting until Xander has literally dated every other girl on Earth, and then he'll have to be with me. You know,
he circles back on me.
Yes, and then or I can get over it. And then Buffy's like, good for you. And she's like, I haven't chosen yet.
Good for you. Well, I didn't choose yet.
Good Lord.
I'm still
I
debating.
love that line.
I'm like, okay, this is because there's an acknowledgement of the whole thing. But yes, I want us to just leave all this behind, act like it never happened, and get back with the relationships as they're specced out. That's fine. But I'm still hurt by the whole turn of events, shoehorning in some new character to be her love interest, and Xander being cast aside.
And it wouldn't be completely out of the realm of possibility to have shifted this series at this point in a totally different direction. That the mummy lady could have joined the cast.
Join the Scoobs.
Like if you didn't make her have to suck the the life force of the innocent.
Yes.
Like if it was just we have to get over the fact that there's this pirate dude who wants to put her back in the whatever. That could have been an interesting thing.
Yeah, I actually like that's the poetic way to do it, is to have to turn him into a mummy and put him in there to replace her or something like that, and then have her just forever be. But yes, I didn't like that part where she has to suck essence, because that just means she's a vampire. It's so boring to me, because she starts to, and then she has to.
And it's kind of just like the movie The Mummy, where the first time she sucked it, it didn't bring her back. It just got her to live again.
Functional kind of.
And then she's at the bus station, which she just knew where it was because she heard it mentioned once and knew there was a guy coming that she could take the place of. And that's weird that she put him into his own trunk but didn't lock it until later on when she almost got discovered. I thought that was weird.
No, really, let me.
That's Xander and Willow. I'll get it.
Yeah. She knows what locks are. She used one just now, but why not then?
She's very lucky he's in such a large trunk and blah, blah, blah. There's so many things, whatever.
And that guy,
overall.
We're there all, I understand he came.
Fez from whatever.
Well, he's wearing what looks like an Indiana Jones style outfit, which is so what the bodyguard is wearing, where I'm like, where are these people from? What is that? That is his job? He just follows it around? He's not doing a very good job.
Everyone from South America wears the exact same thing.
It seems.
I thought he was a magic pirate man. Is that not accurate? Is he just a real person?
No, he's just a person.
What?
He to me is what that group of black robed people from the Mummy are. We defend the Mummy, but on a very budget.
Bigelow, whatever.
Yes.
Okay, because he appears out of nowhere. I assumed he was not a human. I assumed he was also enchanted and bound to the sarcophagus and
I have never thought that.
Okay.
It is possible, but
I don't see how he could have been hiding in the ladies' room waiting for her. She has to pee sometime, right? That seems really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if he was some enchanted magic thing, you think he wouldn't be able to get sucked so easily by a mummy lady.
She had to drop off.
She's just a 16-year-old girl, and she held him down. The way Giles...
She has mummy powers.
She makes Giles pass out by just, touching him.
Yeah.
She's, holding his neck, and he's just oh, a fight's gonna happen.
I'm out.
He's
tapping, I'm out, we're done, thank you.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I loved them getting thrown into the sarcophagus, and then Buffy having to
with potentially a dead body.
Do the thing. Yeah, no, it's all mixed up in some disgusting soup now.
I love the cheese Eiffel Tower that Willow knocks over.
At the cultural appropriation party?
I literally wrote down cultural appropriation party because that's what it is. It's come as your favorite and Xander's costume. He
just comes as not Dirty Harry, but
he's Clint Eastwood from Fistful of Dollars.
I've come for the dance.
And what culture are you?
I'm from the country of Leone. It's in Italy, pretended to be Montana.
I was gonna say, but in an exact movie, and he makes a reference no, it's Italy, but it's gonna look like the Old West or something.
But the place he called it? What the fuck? That's the director. That's the director's name. That's not a place.
well, he names the connection of
Yeah, but he doesn't name it correctly.
Yes, but he hints at Italian, but we're gonna call it this.
Yeah, he says it's a part of Italy, but it thinks it's Montana.
Yeah.
But really, it's Spain that thinks it's Texas because that's where they filmed those movies aping that they were in America.
They had to make it a big mess. It's fine. But yes, he's and he has the cigar and the thing. And
he looks good.
Thing. He always looks good. Okay.
I like when he pulls his thing off. He has that little vested suit thing underneath. I'm classy move.
Absolutely. But it's a cultural appropriation part, which I think is funny, not because it offends me, but because
it couldn't happen now.
Yeah, it's the cultural exchange, but it's the '90s. So what does that mean? I don't know. Like Sven wears a Viking helmet or something.
Where did he get that?
My own speechless human boomerang.
He's a furnished. Where did honestly anybody? Everyone had a really beautiful costume. It's all
kimonos and weird stuff. We're okay, cool.
Yeah, the geisha girl and Sven, and he's making fun of. So all the whole while, Cordelia's like punchy over here, get drinky,
momento,
fruity,
whatever.
And he's punchy fruity. Does she even speak English?
Yeah. I thought this exchange student thing would be a great deal, but look what I got stuck with. Momento, punchy fruity drinky.
Is Cordelia even from this country?
She's even from America. Whatever, yeah, it's great.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's weird. She like fawned over his picture, like, oh, he's so good looking, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, he's kind of a frumpy dude. Like, it didn't strike me as what you would have pictured this Fabio-esque foreigner.
Right, he's not impressive at all. Plus, she liked his picture, and now it's like a deal breaker that he doesn't even speak American. And I'm like, why do you need him to talk? That could have been a nice.
She's also like in the middle of dating this guy.
It could have been a nice bookend the joke, where it's like, I don't need him to talk after he says she doesn't have to talk, right? Like they're both vapid asshole people.
She doesn't have to talk.
Well, it's kind of funny though that she requires him to talk while he doesn't need to talk at all. Shows she's a little better than him.
She has a little spark of something in her, yes.
Yeah, a little spark.
It's kind of cute. Maybe it's nice skipping all that small talk. Small talk. How about simple instruction?
I love the on-the-nosing of the like, oh, unless he awakened the mummy and it's killed him, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and then they're like, oh shit, that probably is what happened.
Yes.
Hey, maybe he awakened the mummy.
Right, and it rose from its tomb.
And attacked him.
And then they just go into the museum after dark, because that's what you can just do. These aren't the most protected lockdown things with security. I love that so much.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it's a sign, I think, that like, we're not going to worry too much, and the audience should not worry too much. Like, how are they doing this? There's no like talcum powder and lasers, like protecting the ancient things. They just have
that's what makes it, I think, extra funny for me, is that like, you'll have times where like the principal will be like, hey, what are you doing in the hallways after school's closed? Which like, you honestly could be like, oh, I forgot my book, that's my locker, here I am.
Like, I forgot my book.
But like, you know, just going into like, you know, a thing with like ancient like things that are completely priceless, and you're just like, no, I just walk right in. I hang out here. I'm gluing stuff. There's no cameras.
Oh, yeah. It's Peter Twin.
I'm just gluing everything. Yeah, there's no cameras to see them like basically murder someone or something like that. Yes. No, I'm expecting a later episode like, we need to get the cocaine out of the evidence locker and then go make the exchange later, and then just walk into the police station. Hi, and just do it all. Yeah.
Hi, is there a bathroom we could use? Oh, in the back next to what? The evidence locker. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
I think it's almost as ridiculous as Giles, who is an educated man, going, "You're from South America. Can you translate this?"
How do you do? I was wondering if you could translate this.
I was in no way awkward.
Yeah.
It's hieroglyphics. It's not something like that would be like, hey Buffy, can you translate this? There's no and the fact that she like semi does and then immediately goes, the legend says.
Legend has it that he guards the mummy against those who would disturb her.
You're letting something spill here, chick.
No, it only makes sense if she is the Incan princess.
Pretty much.
Girl, right? But also, to your point, they're all kind of wearing the same outfit. So maybe in this version of the fake world, and in the 90s, again, cultural appropriation party, everyone from South America is just like time traveling from that time.
But Giles himself even said like, oh, it's a very specific region where there's little known about it.
I gather that this particular mummy was from the Sabancaya region of eastern Peru. It's very remote. Now, if there's an answer, then it's locked in.
Monsieur.
You, random girl, you can read this, right?
You're from a continent. Can you do this?
Yeah.
Like asking me, like, can you, this is like ancient Celtic ruins. Surely you know what they mean.
Where did you go?
I like though that she does translate the dish, and then later on you have Buffy translating Xander's gibberish when he sees a pretty girl. He says you look beautiful.
Very beautiful.
No, you're welcome. I like that bullshit.
Hello, Xander.
Oh, yeah.
I can translate American salivating boy talk. He says you're beautiful.
Gotcha.
You're welcome.
I think
he's a funny dude.
I think in this particular one he had a couple of funny lines, like him not liking that Rodney guy, and I can't remember what the fucking
Willow says something like, "You're just mad about that time he beat you up for 5 years," and he's like, "Yeah,
he beat you up that time every day for 5 years.
Every day for 5 years, yeah."
You just don't like him because of that time he beat you up every day for 5 years?
I think it's funny though that Giles puts his foot down in this episode about training and stuff, where he's like, no, you can't go to the dance, we gotta train, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And like that seems to like work for a while, and it's weird because for a whole summer they didn't train at all.
Yeah.
And it was just like, eh.
So can I go?
I think not.
I love Willow's line of like, maybe Rodney just stepped out for a smoke. For 21 hours, they're very addicting.
It's addictive, yeah.
On the other hand, maybe Rodney just stepped out for a smoke.
For 21 hours?
It's addictive, you know.
Xander gets his first kiss in this episode.
Oh.
Like he's gotten close in other ones, but
do you think it's his first kiss ever?
I'd say that's certainly possible because he's not known for his prowess with the ladies.
Yeah, he's all talk, as they say.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And what a kiss it was. It knocks him on his ass. And I wonder, whenever things like this happen, did he lose years of his life from that kiss?
Yes.
Because it's hard to say. Because we didn't actually watch anything happen. Her skin didn't turn back at all.
Yeah, she didn't get enough of a suck. But
yeah,
like, definitely something happened to knock him on his ass.
It would be great to explain, like, if, like, you know, in like the later seasons, like Xander looks older than everybody else.
Starts getting like gray
that's
hair
why.
really early. Yeah.
I think that's cool. And then she like flees because she knows the seal is getting rebuilt. And like, are you to believe that she ran to the museum wherever it was? Because
it's a mess.
Presumably they went in Xander's car because they all arrived shortly after her.
Couldn't have been Giles' car because his car
is a piece of
jalopy.
shit.
It sucks.
Yeah, and he was already there, so it certainly couldn't have been his car.
True. He took his car there. I wanted to reference the bad car.
His toy car.
Where he's like, I am Florian. She's like, you have to get a real car.
They never do a pan out in this episode. You don't really get to see the car.
It's fake.
Come on, can't you put your foot down?
It is down.
One of these days, you're gonna have to get a grown-up car.
Because he drives that like weird, like not quite a Beetle, but that like I don't know what that car is.
He had it like imported. It's like a bad British car somehow, and she's like, "You're in America now. You have to get a real car, pussy."
You get a muscle
like,
car,
oh.
you bitch.
Yeah.
I'm hot as the mummy.
Oh, good.
So like little things that I liked in this were like subtle touches, like Rodney's face when he finds out there's actually 100 and whatever elements. He's like, oh.
Yeah, I think I got almost all 14 natural elements memorized.
There are 103.
Welcome, students.
Like just little subtle
I memorized
acting.
all like 13 or 14, whatever. He says,
some low ass number.
Like, there's 103. I like Willow. You know, that's part of what where I was thinking about some stuff because she's like tutoring him and she's like, "Chill out, I got this." So I was like, "Oh, that's something."
Yeah, she's kind of a boss.
He dies or whatever. I'm like, yeah.
I got it. The non-violent approach is probably better here.
I like Imhata's face when she sits on the bed. She's like, oh my god, they make beds this soft? Because she's used to like hay and a fucking sarcophagus.
Yeah, there are beds not made of stone.
This is amazing. Oh, ay caramba, I also know that line.
I know that one. All I know is Dorito and whatever else, yeah.
Chihuahua?
Ugh, it's gross.
Some bullshit like that?
All I know are words that Americans use.
Yeah.
They're not even Spanish.
Is Dorito even Spanish?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's probably loosely whatever.
But it's just like Ito.
I was going to say, you're just adding Ito to something, but I don't think the base is, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be, but it certainly
not really
isn't.
A small chip. Isn't Ito small?
Yeah. So there would be like a Doro that is like a large orange triangle that people eat. Like,
It's nothing. That's what a road cone in Spanish.
Watch it is. That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
So do we have to speak Spanish when we see him? Because I don't know anything much besides Doritos and Chihuahua.
What might be the most genuine and like real line that I love in this episode is when Xander's asking her out to go out to the dance, and he's like, will you go to the dance with me? She's like, yes. Really? Yes. Really? like really? That's great.
I like you too.
Really?
Really?
That's great. Really?
Really?
That's great. You're not a praying mantis, are you?
It's like this is very scary. She's like, why was that scary? He's like, well, this is great.
You never know when someone's gonna pull your heart out and throw it to the ground and stomp on it with their heel, and she's like, yes.
Because you never know if a girl's gonna say yes or if she's gonna laugh in your face and pull out your still beating heart and crush it into the ground with her heel.
It could happen. They could also then mummify you. It would be a double whammy. No, it sucks how like he finally kind of had it and then lost it.
It's definitely tragic because she didn't really do anything wrong. She was sacrificed and got put in this position.
She is a victim as well.
He did find potentially his only soulmate ever. You never know if you're gonna meet somebody else that likes you the way this mummy likes you.
You only get one, and she might be an ancient Incan mummy. So that's tough. They call that tough.
Tough noogies, as far as I understand.
Big time. Yes.
We're actually in the crime club. It's kind of like the chess club, but with a lot less chess and more crime.
We're in the crime club, which is kind of like the chess club, only with crime and no chess.
Exactly. We're actually. Don't say the real thing. Say something basically the real thing. No, but you like you're mentioning that she did did nothing wrong. She bonds with Buffy over being like a young girl who had to grow up too fast because she was the chosen one.
Exactly.
And they took very different paths or whatever. Yes.
Chosen.
Do you know the story?
It's fairly familiar.
And you get like that like zing, like unintentionally from Buffy's mom, where it's like, oh, she's only been here like 2 days and she seems so well adjusted. Meanwhile, like, she's like in her in her overall about to fight evil and shit, and you get Xander giving her crap like, oh, what are you from White Trash Town or something? Like,
what did you pick? White Trash?
Where are you from? The country of white trash?
This is just how I dress, Xander.
No,
you goddamn bastard.
You caught me off hours.
Why do you care about being foolish all of a sudden? That's not what I meant.
Why are you suddenly so worried about looking like an idiot? That came out wrong.
The episode kind of ends with like a moment with Buffy and like, you know, Xander, where like you almost kind of get this impression like does Buffy see a little something in Xander here?
I hated this,
Because there's like a little.
You gave up your life.
I had you to bring me back.
I don't hate it.
I had you there to bring me back. And I'm like, this man's heart has been destroyed repeatedly. And you know, he like crushes like that, he's like, I've thought better of it, it's gone. No, he still has feelings. I think this is leading him on, dangerously so.
Well,
I think he's a school shooter waiting to happen is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's a friendly stoking of the flames so that he can go on and go like, you know what, yeah, I did bring, you know, I've done good things. Right. Good things are going to happen to me. This is blah, blah, blah. And in closing, I think the maybe my favorite line is the, oh, you're just going to fall for that. Let me translate your ancient seal stick. I've done that 1,000,000 times or however he.
Do you know how many times I've used that line? If I had a nickel.
Hey, you know, maybe he could translate the seal.
Oh, yeah. Fall for the old, let me translate that ancient seal for you, come on. Do you know how many times I've used that?
Him and these like he said like that kind of line in other episodes before, these very specific, oh, you're just gonna fall for that.
Oh, the good old whatever, and it's something that no one else has ever done ever.
That chestnut, like that's something where no one's ever said it ever.
This, I think, is part of the stuff that supports the side of like Xander's kind of shitty though. Because he's like, wait, your exchange student's a dude? And
a dude like, with dude parts?
This person who's living with you for 2 weeks is a man with man parts. This is a terrible idea.
In your house?
I don't think so. He was parts to himself. Yeah, there's all those lines in there where I could see where like a posthumous viewer is like, he's being shitty to her. Yeah. Because he's being protective, but
you
like
could also take it as like overprotective like brother type stuff, like even though he wants to fuck her, so it's incestuous brother stuff.
Like a brother. No, that's
But yes, he's definitely overprotective and kind of jealous. Often,
which is meant to be cute, but like you could see it. I could see how someone would interpret it like whatever. But the episode kind of saves it. Pulls up out of the spin by having everyone find love interest and have it all be fine.
I find that no matter what amount of shittiness he may sprinkle on something, he always puts that dash of I'm a good guy here to save the day more. And if you don't see that somehow,
for all he knew, he could have died instead of Willow.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to buy time, but he didn't know that she wasn't gonna. He like stepped up.
He literally was willing to sacrifice himself for his friend.
You want life? You're gonna have to take mine.
And it like started to happen. So luckily Buffy like breaks out in time. But yes, so I'm like, that's gotta be worth some friend points or something, right?
You'd think.
Yes.
But no, people they like to have their opinions. Also, and we're here to say they're wrong.
So I play guitar. Seth Green does not.
Oh, that's so obvious.
Okay. I thought it was actually really convincing because his fingers were doing weird stuff. And you mentioned like the mouthing of the lyrics are off. So in my head, I'm like, was it like a different song? And like, he does play guitar, but I cheated and like looked it up just to be sure. But I'm like, something is off here.
I do think he gets better in other episodes, but in this one, there's a particular close-up where it's just the top of his shoulders, and the way his, I'm like, that doesn't look real.
So like, it doesn't match the song that's playing, but that's, I like faked myself out where I'm like, is he just playing something else? And they're like, we'll fix it in post. Don't worry about like whatever you're supposed to be playing or something. But then I was like, because his like pinky goes out, which like most people cannot do the pinky up and down thing. So I was like, okay, so like either he's seen guitar enough to know like what it's supposed to look like.
He's an
or
actor.
Something. Right. Well, I don't know if someone else on set plays guitar and said move your pinky, that'll get him right because it like definitely tripped me up. But it obviously does not match what you're hearing. But it threw me that curveball, which I thought was cool.
It must always be awkward when you have to mouth a song that's not popular. You're like okay, I've heard this how many times now? Like maybe you gave it to me like yesterday because it got cleared and like this is gonna be the song. And you're like okay.
I feel like it all happens on set. They just go. Like
I think the biggest problem when you see mouthing songs in movies where it doesn't sell is that they are literally mouthing the song and not like you're gonna cut your audio out anyway,
Yes.
bro. Belt it out so it looks like you're doing it.
And there's no excuse because this was like kind of pre-internet where no one was gonna leak your like unedited audio to like make you seem ridiculous. But even if you can't sing, you have to like make the noises so that your body looks like it's making noises.
Because that's the issue. Is that's just But like this guy has this like woo kind of voice coming out. You're like that doesn't
like
match.
Long, open things, big, and he's just like
you should be breathing.
he's just it's like an animated GIF that you're making like a puppet to like do the words. It was good. Yeah. But I anticipate more of that because now we have a main character who's in a band.
Indeed. All right, guys, so that was Season 2, Episode 4. Listen to the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next week for Season 2, Episode 5.
Look at us. We came up with a plan. A good plan.
Right. We'll meet there tonight after it closes.
No. Bad plan. I have other plans. Dance plans.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.